Welcome to the Travel Agent Podcast. I'm your host, Aylin Blanco. I interview successful industry professionals and share my personal journey to becoming a travel agent. The show is for aspiring travel agents and travel professionals at every level. My mission is to uncover the universal keys to thrive in this business. Join me as I take a closer look into the life of a travel agent. Hello, and welcome to the Travel Agent Podcast. We are so excited about the guest today. She has been in the industry for a long time, and I am going to let her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Pam Smith. I'm out of Birmingham, Alabama, and I have my own agency, Classic Travel by Pam. So I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. So let's jump into the interview. Since you've been in the industry full-time for 9 years, can you tell me how you actually got started as a travel advisor?
I started as a pharmaceutical rep, and I did that for 15 years. And during that process, I was doing a lot of the planning for our area managers for meetings and events and just different items that related to travel that we had to work on. And it just piqued my interest. And so I started doing that part-time and decided that after 15 years of pharmaceutical, I was done. And so this started out as a part-time job to help take care of my kids at home and just some extra spending money. And it just grew. I mean, after 3 years of part-time business, it advanced, and now I'm doing this full-time and enjoying every minute of it. So
that's awesome. Like I say, almost every episode, it kind of just starts like that. You start doing stuff for people and you realize that, this could be a career.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Since you kind of got into it part-time, what is one of the things you wish you would have known when you first started would have made the transition a little bit easier from part-time to full-time?
Honestly, just the training, learning about the destinations before trying to sell them. I mean, there's areas that I'm still unfamiliar with, but I have resources of other agents that I can go to get advice on where to send those clients. But I wished I had done more of the traveling up front before starting to recommend them. Because I kind of learned the hard way part-time that, just because you tell somebody they need to go to Hawaii, they ask a lot of questions. And if you're not familiar with it, it kind of hinders them with their vacation planning, as well as you not feeling like an expert. So over the years, I have really tried to go to different destinations at least 2 to 3 times a year, sometimes more, just to familiarize myself with it. And, have more knowledge about it. So I feel comfortable and my clients feel comfortable asking me those questions.
What is something that you kind of bombed at in the very beginning that you feel like you're a complete rock star right now?
Organization. When I first started, we didn't have all the computer programming that we had and things like that. Everything was paper. I mean, I had files and files, and it just was so unorganized, and people would call me and I'd have to say, hang on, let me pull your file. And it just got to be very tedious. So when I started doing this full time, luckily the company that I worked for, she saw the foresight to find programs that would work for us as an agency. And now I'm totally paperless. Everything that I do is all on the computer. So I've got a wonderful program. I email from it. I keep myself organized from it. Final payments, everything is done on that. I have no more paper. Even initial contacts now, I try to do like phone calls, and I'll make notes, but then I transfer those notes into the system and then communicate via email with my clients. And if they live locally in the area, I do meet with them one-on-one if they feel more comfortable doing that. But I'm all about now keeping everything in a central location so I have access to it, even when I'm traveling. So I know I don't have to bring files with me. I don't have people's personal information with me, like credit cards. Everything is in that system. and I have access to it when I need it.
So staying organized has really been helpful for you. So like, how do you stay organized? What systems do you use? And how did you integrate that from paper?
We started out with one system with our company, and it kind of faltered. It wasn't giving us everything we needed. So over it's been now, I think we're going on 3 years using the Vacation CRM program database, and it is amazing. You can connect it with a lot of the suppliers. So you're able to even make payments directly from them, as well as keeping track of the bookings that you make. So it's an easy process. Once you get the clients in that system, I just work from there. It did take time to transfer all of those clients from paper into the system, and I do still have myself go back several years and enter those clients in and send them a reminder email that I'm still here if they're ready to travel. But I basically work from that system now. Everything's done via that and our regular email system. So, but it works great. I mean, I'm very unorganized when it comes to paper because I get ahead of myself, where this way I can just go in, pull their name up, and everything is there. So I take very detailed notes. I send reminder emails to them from that about their upcoming payments, any kind of information relative to their vacation. It's time for you to look at doing an excursion. All of that goes straight through that system. So it's just been very, very helpful for me.
Nice. Since you've been in the industry a while and you've seen a lot of the changes, what's one of the most important things that you've kind of learned that's help you grow your business?
Referrals. Client referrals. About 90% of my business is from client referrals. I do have social media accounts and I do have a website and I do get contacts that way, but it seems like when somebody refers me, I tend to book them easily. Whereas if it's off the computer, sometimes people are just shopping, trying to find the best deal before they book either on their own or they just want to get an idea of the pricing and then they don't move forward with it. Whereas if it's a referral, they do tend to be ready to move forward with the vacation and they have their friend telling them, you need to use her. She's really good at this. And that has kept my business growing. So that has been a big asset to me is referral base.
So I have heard on multiple occasions that is a big bulk of most travel advisors' business. Do you have like a referral system? Is there something that's built into your program that kind of tells you how people were referred to you? And do you send out anything? Like, how do you manage your referrals?
I always send out, after a client goes on a trip, I always send them a, welcome home email and through Vacation CRM, as well as a review email like 2 weeks after. And then following that, I'll send them out referrals and another email about referrals. Please remember to send your friends and family to me. I would love to be of assistance to them. And then following that, like 6 months later, I'll send another email out to that original client reminding them about, is it time to plan your next stay? So that keeps me in their minds. And it really has helped through our database doing it that way because we get so bogged down with trying to help existing clients. That system just is automatically doing it for us on the back end. And it does help. It really does. I've seen a lot of success with this just because if you're out of their mind, they're not going to think about you. And I have lost clients that, even though I have booked with them in the past, they think, oh, okay, I can do this on my own now. She's done this vacation for me twice. I've got this. And it never fails that they come back the next vacation saying, okay, we had issues. We didn't have you helping us and we want to do this again. So that's always, makes me feel flattered, but it does, kind of discourage me like, okay, what did I do wrong? Did something not work? But 90% of the time, it's just them feeling like they got this and they can handle it. but they don't stop sending me referrals. No, I feel like the referral business of knowing your contacts and constantly sending out information to them is really helpful.
That is such great advice. So earlier you spoke about going to different destinations 3 or 4 times a year. So do you have any upcoming trips? Is there any place that you're really excited to go in the next year or so?
Yeah, actually, I'm actually leaving this week. I'm going to Grand Cayman for the first time. I've only been there for a cruise, so I'm going to spend a week there. Then in September, the end of September, I'm going to Cabo. I've never been to Cabo, so I'm excited about that destination. And then in October, I'm actually doing my first river cruise. So I'll be doing the Danube. I've sold it. And luckily, I've had other agents that I have contact with that have helped me with those vacations, but I want to experience it. So these 3 destinations are ones I've never experienced, and I'm looking forward to each and every one of them just to get a feel for that and make myself feel more comfortable in selling it to my clients and talking about it.
So 2 things. The first thing is do you have like a system when you go to these different locations? Are you taking pictures? Are you taking video? Do you go on your social media, or are you just kind of taking notes and getting familiar with the staff?
I take tons of pictures. Sometimes I take too many pictures. You can only, I really do take like 2 or 3 pictures of a certain room just so I can get different angles so I can keep them as stock photos and use them for my quotes that I send out to my clients, because I send pictures with the quotes for the resorts. So I do ask a lot of questions. I do video. I pretty much do everything. While I'm gone, I do tend to post on social media so my clients know that I am somewhere trying to research it for them, because that can be a future destination for them. And then I also just keep it for myself as a reminder. And I do take notes. Like if I go on a hotel or a resort, I make notes about, how many restaurants, what was the beach like? What was, the service like? Because I want to feel like my clients feel when they go and feel at home, and not just that, okay, here's another guest, check that box. I want to feel like this is special for them, because people spend money, good money, for their vacations, and you don't want that phone call that, why did you send me here? I don't like this resort. Because I'm one of these that if I won't stay there, I don't want my clients staying there. I want them to be happy with where I'm referring them to go.
That makes so much sense. So, and the second thing is you referred to several agents that, you can kind of talk to and who've been places that you haven't been. So how did you build the relationships with those other travel advisors so that you can kind of build this community to help each other?
2 or 3 of my best friends I've met through our company. They don't live near me. They live in other areas, but we all tend to do different familiarization trips, PAMs. So we all can, kind of refer to each other back and forth. And we do tend to do that. We'll text each other and say, hey, have you been to this resort? What did you think about it? I've also actually met agents going on these FAM trips that have no association with my company, but I trust them because that I know that they've been in the business probably longer than I have. And so they can help me, refer my clients and tell me specific details about a destination that, okay, this client, they've got to go eat at this restaurant while they're there, or they've got to do this excursion. So it helps me feel more comfortable, even if I've never been there. And it does tend to ease my job more because I'm getting support from my fellow agents. The internet is so easy these days to go on, book it yourself, or, Costco, I hate that word, but just because Costco books it, you're not going to have them to call and say, okay, can you recommend a good restaurant for me to go to while I'm over here in Grand Cayman? They're not going to have that. So I want them to feel comfortable with knowing that what I'm sharing with them is accurate information. And, fellow agents tend to do that. I can't travel the world, but with a big group, everybody's pretty much got an area covered that we can go to and ask questions.
Awesome. That is one of my big things is collaboration over competitions. Like, we really are each other's competition. It's great that you have built relationships with a lot of people that can help you. And that's actually one of the things that the Travel Agent Podcast is trying to cultivate, is that you guys who are so gracious to come on the show have been in the industry a while and really are doing great things. And so just kind of building those relationships and, you know, the fact that you're going to, I haven't been to Cabo either, so I'm really looking forward to hearing about your trip.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So on these FAMs, so is this something that do you do any on your own, or are they all organized through?
No, I've done several on my own. My coworker and I, we do tend to do a lot outside of our company, just because there are areas that we want to go to for our clients that it's harder to get, 20 agents together to do that. We have gone through, like when we did St. Lucia for the first time, 6 years ago, it was easy to go through the tourist board. So we did the FAM through them, and we met a lot of agents for that one. And then we've done things on our own, like Jamaica. We've booked our own trip to Jamaica, and we've seen, 12 resorts in 3 days, just because they're properties that we wanted to see, and we wanted to be able to book the FAM to go when we wanted to do it. And we did have the help of the Jamaica Tourist Board out to the tourist board and let them know we're coming, who are the contacts there, because we don't know everybody. And, going out to the companies directly, they have access to everybody for the hotels, transfers, everything. So it makes it a lot easier to do it on, your own. Don't be scared to do that. It's great if you can get in on a group FAM, but sometimes they fill up so quickly, and, you want to be able to explore and find areas that you normally don't have that access. So
nice. Well, you have given us so much great information today. What is something that you are most excited about that's coming up in business or in life?
Well, I'm an empty nester for the first time. Both of my kids have gone to college. So it's my husband and I, we travel, but I'm ready to travel more and not have to worry about who's going to take care of the kids, who's going to, so this is opening up a whole area for us. Europe is really big for me right now. I want to go all over. So I've been we've done Italy, we've done Greece, and now I'm fixing to, do Germany and Danube. Next year, I want to do Rhine River Cruise and do Paris. So there's a lot of areas that I do want to explore that I've not been to. So, I'm very excited for that. But it's going to be a different chapter for us because we're empty nesters. So we don't have anybody here at home full time, but it's kind of twofold. It's been hard. I mean, it's been only 2 weeks, so it's been hard getting used to not having anybody coming in and out of the home. But it's going to be fun. We're looking forward to it. So,
well, I am so excited for you.
Well, thank you.
I'm so far on the other side of that spectrum, so I'm still figuring out who's going to watch the kids, or are we going to take them with us?
Right. And it was great. We did take the kids with us when we did vacations, but it just was harder with school schedules and activities. And this way it's just our calendar. So it's going to be a little bit easier, I hope.
I'm sure it will be. Well, thank you so much for all of your insight. It's been amazing interviewing you. I look forward to watching all your journeys on social media and following up with you. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for joining the Travel Agent Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. Visit thetravelagentpodcast.com for more information about today's episode and other travel agent resources. Be sure to tune in every Thursday for new episodes. Until next time, continue to build a travel business you love.